Hey guys, Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and welcome to Feedback Friday. So this is a weekly series now, I think it's safe to say that, where you send me messages on Twitter. You can follow me at WoodysGamertag, and I reply in video form, like this. Somewhere up here there'll be, I haven't figured out which corner it is yet, there'll be gameplay. It's from my kit PvP server, and it's kind of cool. You start with a kit and they're all kind of balanced, but as you kill people, you take their swords and armor and you get a better kit that's sort of unbalanced, and then you can start wrecking people. So that's what you do. Anyway, let's get going to Feedback Friday. Tom asks, Woody, 3,000 years ago when you were a semi-pro swimmer, what were your 50 times? You know, I've been reluctant to talk about my times because I always worry that they don't stack up to today's times. If any of you follow sports, swimming, track, etc., times just get better and better and better. But I'll share them. So my top 50 time was a 22.2, and these are yards. So if you guys are like international and you swim meters, then I know you add about 7 seconds for 100. For 50, I'm not sure. It's not 3.5. It's not that simple because the starting block changes things. But so I did a 22.2 for my 50 free. For my 100 free, I don't remember exactly. It was under a 50. It was either like a high 48 or a low 49, like somewhere in that range. And then for my 100 fly, which was, I was pretty good at that, I did a 53.95. So I don't know how those times would do today, and I don't know how maybe you guys know, like, I swam a lot of meters in high school, and we could like do the conversions almost to the 10th of a second, like what you would have done in a yard pool. I don't know if you guys can do that same sort of thing as what you do with modern swimsuits, right? You know, back in the day, you'd shave your legs or something, and that would be it. Yeah, shave my legs. Shaved everything those tiny little swimming bathing suits don't cover. But that includes hair, like head, arms, armpits, legs, everything but pubes, pretty much. And but now swimmers wear like long pants because they're faster than skin, and sometimes swimmers even wear these like sleeveless like suits that go. They're like long pants with a like a sleeveless t-shirt type thing. I guess it's not a t-shirt. So I don't know how much quicker that would have made me. Is it a whole second? Is it a half a second? I'm not sure in 100. But those are my times. 22.50 fly, like low 49. I'm sorry, 22.50 free. Low 49, high 48 in 100 free, and a 53.95. I remember that one in 100 fly. So, yeah. Oh, and by the way, I was never a semi-pro swimmer. Like, I never earned any money for swimming. I was just a high school and college swimmer. Woody, if there's one thing you could change in your YouTube experience that you can control, what would it be? I think, like, one of the things I did a lot throughout YouTube is I kind of stood next to and up for people that didn't deserve it, and then later on it would turn around and bite me. You know, like someone would be doing giveaways and the whole world would pile on top of them. And like I remember, like we had Freddie W and Hutch and all these guys on Painkiller already, and I was saying, you know, leave these guys alone. Giveaways are just advertising costs, and I wasn't doing giveaways. I was just in my head being the friend that they needed when nobody else was there for them. It's not that I necessarily even agreed with some of the stuff they're doing, because it was bad, right? Like and favorite my video, and you know, sometimes they didn't even give away those gift cards, insider tip. And but in my head, you know, I would say things like, "Hey, you know, this is just an advertising expense for a YouTube channel." And if I could go back in time, I probably would have just been like, you know what, I'm gonna keep my distance. Maybe the whole world's picking on them, but it's not my job to align myself with them and their shady behavior. And then, you know, if things ever turned around and the whole world picked on me, it was a freaking you know, ghost town. So if I could change something about my YouTube, you know, when I spot shady behavior, I certainly don't want to be those channels that just like poke at everybody and try and make a name off of being a dick. But I would have silently just distanced myself from stuff I didn't agree with. You know, everyone knows this channel, like, I kind of feel like I do YouTube into a headwind, right? You know, there's people making up drama crap about me. There's people or just legitimately who don't like me. I've never met them or talked to them, but they don't like me. And sometimes I wonder if some of that stemmed from the company I kept. Because, you know, like, yeah, that's... So if there's something I could change, this all stemmed, like, 3 weeks ago, Joe Lozon got in my head. And he's like, Woody, people judge you by the company that you keep. And it was like, you know, that's life, right? That's going to happen. And, you know, sometimes I wonder if, from beginning to end, and don't get all twisted. You know, you're going to say I'm talking about this guy or that guy. Dude, lots of people did giveaways and let it go. But, you know, like, if you're in high school and you're hanging out with the druggies, then people are going to look at you like that. If you're in college and you're hanging out with, I don't know, some other bad influence or some people who are morally corrupt, then people are going to judge you by that. And I felt like if there's something I'd do different throughout this YouTube thing, it's I probably would have distanced myself from bad people a lot sooner than I did, you know. And you know, a lot of people claim that they don't do YouTube for money. You know, you see that all the time. And I don't do YouTube for money. Meanwhile, they're putting up like misleading titles and thumbnails and with the juiciest topics they can, and tweeting out their videos like 30 times a day. You know, but I'm in kind of a funny spot where, like, I guess I'd be lying if I said I don't appreciate the check every month. But it's also true that I don't need this, right? You know, I could shut down YouTube today, and the amount of money I make just by uploading 2 videos a week isn't that high, and it's created a different thing for me. Like, I have a new spot in YouTube where I do this as I feel like it. I do it for my own, because I enjoy YouTube. It's a whole different thing. So I forgot how I got on that topic, but now I get to sit back and sort of, you know, evaluate how everything has gone and how everything is going, and I don't have to, you know, give a crap about what people think or what people say. It used to be like, oh my God, this guy's attacking me. You know, this isn't just some popularity contest. This is my career, and I don't feel that way anymore. Now it's just the internet, right? The internet is to me what it is to you, right? If someone's mean to you online, hopefully you're able to compartmentalize that and prioritize it where it belongs, right? Right here. But when your job is being popular, which is where, you know, what a YouTuber is, then, you know, suddenly, like, these things make a bigger difference. It's like somebody attacking you at work, like the worst kind of backstabber, out to ruin your career. And now it's like it's a much happier place for me, YouTube, because it doesn't matter if the dislike bar is a little bit gray. You know, it doesn't matter if you know, some idiot is making up lies about me. It's all silly. You know, I can just turn off the computer and do whatever I want and not care about this global middle school popularity contest. So, yeah, somehow I got there from what would I do differently. Probably should have been more selective about the people that I, you know, hung out with, you know, back when the popularity contest really mattered to me. You know, more Onslaught, more Team Art, less of those some other guys. So, yeah, anyway, that's my answer. Woody, talk about Gödel's incompleteness theorems, or let me suck the blood out of your left nipple. I think I'm going to have to do the nipple thing. Will you upload your Minecraft streams to YouTube again? I've been thinking about that hard. So here's a thought process. I was like, what if I upload my Minecraft streams to YouTube and then just probably delete them right after they're over, because people don't like to, like, I think they're better live than they are in retrospect. And also I've taken to playing music during my live streams, which I like a lot. Like, it makes it fun for me. I think it makes it fun for the people watching. I spend a lot of time on the playlist and, you know, DJ Woody doing Minecraft live streams, and people enjoy it, and I like doing it. I'd like to do it on YouTube again, but YouTube is so tight with the music thing, I wonder to myself, like, if I got rid of the video by the end of the live stream, if the problem would get solved. I'm not sure, but it's a thought. So, will I upload to YouTube again? I don't know. I would have to decide to either risk the music thing or not play music, which I feel like takes away from the stream. Man, Twitch is just much nicer to work with than YouTube is. That's their, to me, their big competitive advantage. Twitch is nice that way. What was it like growing up 1 block from the ocean? A couple interesting things. First of all, I was 2 blocks from the ocean, but I think the question still stands. I surfed a lot. I used to surf, you know, before high school. Then I'd go to school during the day, and I'd surf in the afternoon. That was a big part of my life. I was actually a pretty good surfer. I used to get free, you know, surfboards and wetsuits and clothes and stuff like that. I had a lot of suntan lotion, shoes, sunglasses. I don't remember everything, but I had a lot of sponsors. It was something that I kind of took pride in, and I was a competitive surfer. So that was a big deal. I used to have a jet ski, and I'd take the jet ski and push it to the ocean. I was barely strong enough to get it across the soft sand, but I'd get it done, and then we'd go jet skiing until I broke it, and then I'd fix it, and I'd do that a lot. The town is interesting. So Ocean City, at the time, this is Ocean City, New Jersey, it had 18,000 people living there in the winter, which is kind of a small town, and it had 250,000 people in the summer, so it would be absolutely packed. Most of the houses, I'll say maybe 1 in 5 homes in the winter time, had anybody living there. Right? They were summer homes, so people would either rent out or just live in all summer long. A lot of times they were, you know, wealthy families, and the dad would visit every weekend, but he'd take his family and he'd have his family live at the shore, and that was, you know, something that he could provide for them. So the school was really well funded. They don't do it like this anymore, but it used to be that the real estate taxes funded the school, and because there were so many more homes than families living there and actually sending kids to school, the ratio was out of whack. And we had the highest paid teachers, so presumably we had better than average teachers. And like gym class and stuff, we had like fencing and archery, and you know, everyone had leather gloves and nice baseball bats. I'm not sure if all high schools have this, but I think this is something that at the time was kind of a luxury item. So the school was really well funded, but that doesn't mean everyone was rich. It just means that like a lot of homes contributed their real estate taxes, and actually, you know, we're going back to school up in Philadelphia or something like that. So it was neat. In the summertime, I used to talk, I'm such a horrible person, but Teenage Woody, he, I used to date these girls in the summer, and I'd call them like disposable women. Oh my God, this is so terrible. But because they moved away every week, you know, or every 2 weeks, you know, that's how long most people would be there. You could, like, you know, go out with a girl, say or do stupid things, or just like, you know, if you wanted to break up or something, just break up on the spot, you know, tell her she needs a new boyfriend in a firm way, and I'd date 2 at once, or 3 at once, or 5 at once. And if you got caught, you know, like I'd pick up a girl like in the morning and then another one in the afternoon. If it and I just like, oh, well, just because I have a date tonight doesn't mean I can't find a better date tonight. And then, you know, like in the afternoon I pick up a prettier one. And then, you know, the morning one would see me talking to the afternoon one, and it'd be like, you know, I upgraded. And that kind of thing was easy to do. Like, you wouldn't want to do that in your high school because you get a reputation as a dog. But, and it hurts people's feelings. But I was, I guess, a dog, and, you know, there were no long-term impact because the girls would go back to wherever they came from at the end of the week. Usually Saturday was the day that, like, everyone would leave, and then in the afternoon the new families would come in. So yeah, I remember, this is an old movie, but I saw the movie Pretty Woman. Like, to me, it was a really good date movie. I don't know how many times, like 2 or 3 dozen times, like a lot, maybe over 20 times. Well, 3 dozen is 36, so probably not that many times. But anyway, I saw the Pretty movie a lot, because a Pretty Woman movie, because I'd take girls there on dates and we'd do our thing. So yeah, I dated a lot of girls some summers, and they would just come and go and come and go. I wasn't sleeping with them or anything. Don't get this all twisted. I guess I just wasn't that successful. But it wasn't because teenage Woody was overly moral. That wasn't it. I just wasn't. I guess that's slick. But I did get a lot of dates, and you know, that was a thing that I think is unique to live in a block from the beach. It's the fact that all summer long families come and go, and that's the thing. One other thing, like I want to say the kids at my high school were cooler than an average high school, and I'm not talking about me, but like I look back on that, and what it took to like compete on the social scale was ridiculous. Like just how like everybody was so tuned into what was in style and what wasn't, and who was who. I saw a Netflix documentary. The Ocean City High School surfing team made it to nationals, right? You'd see them like beat the other local surfing teams, and then they went out to California, and the California kids beat them. But I saw the kids in this documentary, and it brought all these flashbacks. Like, oh my God, these kids. And this is gonna sound pedo, but it's like these kids were so cool. They like everything about them, every interaction, just had this sort of like style and self-confidence that like in my head I was like, no wonder high school was so flippin' hard. These kids are like the pros of being cool. It's really difficult. Like when I look at my daughter's high school, or maybe it's just the times have changed, but they were hard to be. It was a difficult school to be popular in, and I think it maybe was just the beach thing being mega cool, or maybe it was just the time. But now it's like people are more accepting. If you don't do something just right, then you know people let it go. It's or maybe it's just my daughter's high school is nicer than an average one. Maybe you'll leave a comment and tell me what your high school experience is like. But yeah, Ocean City was brutal in terms of like any kind of social hierarchy. It wasn't until I was a junior and senior and I got a little taller and a little fitter that that I started fitting in better. Woody, what made you want to start YouTube? It was about making friends. That's what it was. I used to watch Hutch's videos. You know, he played Call of Duty, COD 4, and I would think to myself, like, I was competitive. It was like, man, if I had Hutch on my team, we'd never lose, right? Because, you know, like, I'm an above average COD player. I'm pretty good. And I was, anyway. And you see Hutch in the videos, and at the time I didn't understand that the videos you see are those people's best games. I thought I thought he went like 40-0 quick scoping every game or something. But he, you know, Hutch is a good player. I'm not. It sounded like I was knocking him. I didn't mean to. But I wanted to be Hutch's friend. Like he just seemed so sincere, and like I was really wrapped up in like, you know how you almost get to be friends with a YouTuber even though it's one-sided. Like, you know, you're really emotionally invested in him, and he's never met you. I had that with Hutch. Like I totally get that, and I used to leave nice comments on his video all the time, and I'd click like or 5-star, right, way back in the day, and he didn't really notice me. And it was like, well, if I want to start playing with Hutch and his peers, then I need to be a YouTuber too. You know, otherwise, you know, I'm just one of the many fans. And I made a YouTube channel and started making videos, and I never wanted to be like the biggest, and there was no money in it, right? I didn't have any profit motive. And that was before Machinima paid people and stuff like that. All I really wanted to do was, you know, play with the other YouTubers. And in the end, I did. I've gotten to play with just about everybody. And I feel like I know them. You know, I know most of the YouTube community, especially the OG guys, but even a lot of the new guys. And that's why I got started in YouTube. I remember, you know, in terms of the money side of YouTube, which I bet some people are curious about, it was a while. I remember, I think it was like a year in or something, Wings of Redemption said, like, you know what? like I just got this offer from Machinima, and it's amazing. And I calculated it out. I think I can make 80 grand a year at this. And I was like, oh my God, 80 grand a year. Like that's really helpful. Yeah, put that with the rest. That's real money. So I got excited about it too. And after the first week, I calculated like how much my channel was earning, and it was like $5,000 a year. And $5 grand a year, while helpful, I had a pretty professional job, and like it didn't change my lifestyle. $5 grand a year, and it seems obvious now, but at the time I was like, hey, maybe I should upload more videos. If I upload more videos, I'll get more views, and then, it was never meant to be a career or anything. Like I didn't have any aspirations of doing it full time. I just wanted, I guess, enough so that, like, I was saving so much that I was living paycheck to paycheck, right? I was in a spot where, I put, I think, 15% of my money away for my retirement account, and 10% of my money away into the employee stock purchase plan, and then other money here and there. And then Colin's medical bills started rolling in because we discovered about him, and like things were just getting so tight, and I didn't want to stop saving for my future, and YouTube was a way to to make it so that we didn't live so week to week anymore. And then it got to be like really successful, and the YouTube thing, it was growing so much, it was so much fun, and it was actually more profitable than my day job, to the point where my day job was like, this is almost getting in the way of what I can do on YouTube. And I uploaded one video every day at the time, and I was like, I think if I upload 2 videos a day, like I'll like the YouTube thing will go even better. Subs will be happy. Like I'll be happy. Like I should just drop my job and add a second video. So I did that. I used to upload 2 videos a day. I did it for like over a year, and that, I guess that's how the money side rolled in. I don't know. Yeah, and eventually I dropped down to 1 video a day, mostly because like the hardest part about YouTube for me was coming up with good topics to talk about. Like if you're in school, imagine that you have to write a short story every day, right? That's your job, write a short story every day. And the first day it's pretty straightforward. Like, all right, I'm gonna write a story, Knight kills a dragon, does his thing. And then the second day, you're like, all right, gonna write a whole new story. Toys come to life and I'm gonna do whatever. And then the third day and the fourth day, well now, you've told 900 stories before, and you're not allowed to repeat yourself. Because you're a year in and you've been doing 2 or 3 videos a day, and Painkiller already is hours long, where you just burn through everything you can think of. And it got to be like, what, maybe I'll slow down to 1 story a day, because I'm draining me. And it's interesting, like being self-employed. I know he didn't ask, he asked why I started on YouTube, but being self-employed, whether it's YouTube or some other job, is almost a dangerous thing if you have any shred of ambition in you, because it gets to be like once I stopped working for someone else and started working for me, every minute was like, maybe I should be working right now. How do I achieve any kind of work-life balance? Like, how can I do this? Because I know, like, if I was online hanging out with Twitter followers, that would translate into some sort of goodwill, which would be views, which would be whatever. If I was, making another video today, a third one, or who knows what, then that would translate into views. There was a time Wings of Redemption went through this too. He made 11 videos one day, 11 videos in a day, and he's just churning them out. And like, it's a weird thing when you first when I work, you work, and then you kind of wrap up for the day, and then you just put work away. You're done. When you work for yourself, there's no done. There's no concept of done. Why aren't you doing more right now? You could be doing something right now, whether it be something that maybe it's just interacting with fans and building goodwill. Maybe it's you're making videos. Maybe who knows what it is. Maybe it's getting more gameplay. The more you play, the better the selection of videos you have to upload will be. And for me, I tended, my channel was a lot of talking about topics for a set length. And I'd be like, all right, I need some one in the chambers in case I have a 3-minute topic idea. I need some TDMs in case I have a 7-minute topic ideas, and some dominations in case I have 10 to 12-minute topic ideas. And the more I played, the more like footage I would have, and you know, I could just select the like better footage, right? Maybe I have a TDM now where I go 25 and 4. You know, if I keep playing, I'll have a 35 and 2. I'd much rather use that. And it's just like, it was a weird thing as YouTube changed from how can I make a new friend and have someone to play with to like how I feed my family and how I do this, and how I manage my workload and ambition. You know, it's one of my strengths and it's one of my weaknesses at the same time. Like you have to balance your family and your work and all that sort of stuff. One advantage you get when you work from home, though, is you can do that almost at the same time. You know, you can't see it, but right on here, this is Colin's mouse. You know, he sits with me when I work a lot, and he plays next to me, and I enjoy that. It's one of the cooler things about Minecraft compared to YouTube. With YouTube, I almost want him to leave so I didn't get any mic noise. With sysadmin, I'm trying to say, you know, people are welcome to hang out with me and do their thing. I've got chairs all over here where Jackie sits and Colin sits, and so it's a nice, I'm pretty happy with my life right now. But why did I start YouTube? So that I could be friends with the people that started before me. There's a, I made a short story long.